I had fun at Comic-Con 2 years ago. That's about as good as it gets for a writer. You know, like there aren't a lot of places where you kind of like getting shuttled around in SUVs like you're the Beatles. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
So I'm a big comic book fan.
Yeah.
And a fan of iZombie. Now I know there's a big departure from the source material, but what initially intrigued you about the concept of the book to adapt it?
Well, when the way iZombie came to me was Susan Robner, the head of development at Warner Brothers, brought it to me, and she didn't present it as CW needs a zombie show and we think this is it. She presented it to me as we need the next great female lead on the CW network. We need the next Buffy, the next Veronica Mars, and look at this cover. Wouldn't she be awesome for this? So it was sort of presented to me kind of like kick-ass female lead first, zombie show second. So the idea of, so that was sort of mission one. And then the big idea of the comic book, this idea that that this woman could exist as a zombie as long as she kept eating brains, and that she would inherit the memories of the people she ate and then try to solve the problems. That was all appealing to me. I mean, I could see a show in that. In the comic book, of course, she's a grave digger, and so if you're digging up graves, you know, 1 week, I mean, it could be an 80-year-old woman who died of emphysema, and what is the show then? So the idea of putting her into a police morgue where every body would be a murder case of the week, felt like that gives us our case of the week. We can do that. And then in the comic book, of course, they have a whole monster universe: were-terrier, ghosts, mummies, and I think because True Blood was doing the multi-monster universe, the idea of keeping it strictly zombie was appealing to me. And then, and in another departure. And this is something I cannot explain. I am less interested in the supernatural, but I'm totally fine with fake science. So both of them are fantasy or fiction. Either way, I don't know why the categories matter to me, but like I love 28 Days Later, I love 28 Weeks Later, World War Z, like those are my zombie touchstones. And so rather than sort of monster universe and supernatural, I wanted to keep it just because it's what I enjoy more, virus-generated zombies. Yeah.
Now this is still obviously very firmly in the zombie genre, and it's pervaded all sorts of media, video games, comics, TV, movies. What do you think the staying power is of the zombie character, or of the genre as a whole?
Well, I'm betting a lot that it at least lasts 4 more years. You know, that we can. I mean, we had fun playing. I mean, you all have seen the first few episodes. I mean, essentially the conversations that we had in our heads or with each other about it all got put into Blaine. You know, are zombies over? I think there's some more life in them. That's us trying to convince ourselves, just putting it out on the screen. I don't know. I would have been. I would have been very hesitant to try to do a different version of The Walking Dead. You know, zombie apocalypse. You know, traditional zombies, because they're doing it very well on that network. That would have felt very copycat, and I think there would have been too much of that on the air. The movie Warm Bodies probably gave me as much confidence that, like, if that movie didn't exist, I think I would have been stuck on this thing. Can we fall in love with a zombie? Is that possible, or will people just it's dead? Why dead flesh is gross. We have no interest in this, but because I enjoyed that movie and I went along for the ride, it's like, okay, we can have a likable zombie, and it will be different than The Walking Dead, and there's still some space left to carve out there. But you look at my track record for rating success. What do I know? I know nothing. In my mind, maybe this is the one that I managed to keep on the air, zombies. So I'm just throwing darts at a board. I have no special knowledge.
You talked about having a kick butt kind of character on your show, and we've seen her kind of go through rage mode, I think they're calling it.
Yeah, full on zombie mode.
Excuse me, full on zombie mode.
Well, that's what she calls it, Blaine.
So how much more are we going to see that? Are we going to see some real action sequences? Are we going to see her actually go out there and fight some crime, like really fight?
Yeah, I mean, she has a couple. I mean, even in the first few you've seen in the pilot episode, she jumps on the roof of a car and bashes the window in, and then she goes full on zombie in last week's episode. We don't do it every episode, but there's more action in this show than in any other show that I've done. Like which is different for me. Usually it's people quipping in a room. It's what I normally do, and so now there's like lead pipe bashing head. It's a new world for me. But yeah, there's more action, and there will not only be live zombie action, but we'll have other zombies in the show. The zombie on zombie crime will exist. No one's going to confuse us for The Walking Dead, where a lot of it is about mowing down zombies, but more action than I've had in anything else I've done.
You've done so many last questions. You've done so many fan favorite TV shows. Party Down being one of my absolute favorites. Are you a creator of TV that likes to bring back players on your other shows?
Oh yeah. I actors who I who've just done good work on other shows of mine, who've been pleasures to work with. I can't wait to work with them again. Maybe my favorite Party Down episode, maybe there are a couple that would be in contention for it, but was Steven Weber's the Armenian mobster episode, and he comes in later on iZombie and is so good. He's so fun and delicious and great. And when he after he'd done Party Down, he sent us, the producers, this really lovely note saying, "Thank you. I always get everyone wants me to play asshole in a suit, and it was such a pleasure to do this." And so when I emailed him about doing iZombie, I said, "Listen, I want you to play an asshole in a suit. I hate asking, but he's so good in it. He's in a couple of the later episodes, and it's great." And then Ryan Hansen from Veronica Mars is in an episode. Percy Daggs from Veronica Mars is in an episode. Darren Norris, you saw him in the pilot, will also come back later in the episode. So, yeah, it's tough because it would be so easy if, like, Party Down filmed in LA, where we could have anyone we want just show up, and it's a little trickier to say, "Hey pal, can you go up to Canada for 8 days for top a show?" That's pulling a bigger favor than. But yes, I promise you're going to see some of my favorite people in future episodes.